Before we get into this, I just want to say thank you for being here. This work only exists because you show up for it. If these conversations help you think deeper, heal honestly, or lead yourself differently, make sure you are subscribed wherever you are watching or listening. Share with someone who's also doing the work. We're building something real here, not perfection, not performance, but growth together. I'm grateful you are a part of it. Now let's get into today's episode. This is This Tree and Me. I am Corey J. Riggs. Today's episode, be the leader your ego is waiting for. Leadership is not about control. It's not about dominance. It's not about force. Leadership is internal. And if you are not leading your inner world, then your ego will. And that is not a criticism. That is just reality. Because something is always steering your decisions, something is always shaping your reactions, and something is always choosing how you respond to fear, love, conflict, and growth. The question is simple. Is it you? Grounded, present, aware? Or is it the wounded protector inside that is trying just to survive? Today's episode is about stepping into authority. Not authority over others, authority over yourself. Be the leader that your ego is waiting for. As I said, if you're not leading your internal world, then your ego will. And most people think that that's fighting your ego. Getting into an argument with it, pushing it away, trying to kill it. And it doesn't mean any of that. Healing comes from leadership. Leadership of the parts inside of you that your ego is protecting, that your ego is built to protect. But if you allow your ego to lead, then you're going to be led by fear and old stories to keep you in a shell, to keep you stuck. And it's not evil. The ego is not evil. It's not trying to hurt you. It's just simply trying to protect you. But that protection, if it doesn't have any guidance, it becomes control. And this is your life. And if you don't lead it with love, then it will be led by fear. Leadership begins when you surrender the illusion of control, giving up control. As I do every morning, I surrender myself to God, Mother Earth, and my highest self. I call those three in and I surrender, give them my life, give them my path. That also helps quiet the ego, giving up control, not trying to control the ego. That's how you can heal with it. That's how you lead from the heart instead of reaction. Leadership is not domination. It's not force. So let's define what it actually is. Leadership is listening. Leadership starts internal. It's giving others, in this case, the parts of you inside, the permission to come in, to say their piece, to have a space that is free of judgment and control and just built from love and understanding that, hey, I'm here with you. We're here forever. So can we get in this space and can we heal together? But to lead, you have to follow. To lead, you have to listen and understand. Surrendering is not weakness. It's alignment. And when I surrender every morning, I don't lose control. I gain clarity. When you are led by your ego, you're in protection mode. Constant survival. You're fear-driven. Your decisions feel urgent and reactive. It's just complete chaos. Inner leadership requires responsibility, accountability. Authority is not dominance. It's presence. And a real leader listens before they move, reads the room, takes account for everybody, what's going on. That's how you lead. You're not agenda driven. It's not, I know better, so you're going to listen to me. Those are egos. Real leadership listens to every single part. Every day, whatever they need. That doesn't mean you get stuck in it. You hear them and you try to understand them, allowing each voice to speak, creating safety for them to speak, letting them know you're truly going to listen. And if that part feels unheard, it'll get louder. And then if it feels judged, it'll go away and hide. And I had one hidden until just about a week or two ago. Another part of me that came out, and this is the most wounded part. But through this process, through my laugh method, it came out. And it's been a joy. It's been very nourishing for my soul. But you don't silence the ego. You create a space where it doesn't need to scream. You create a space where it trusts that it's going to be heard. And listening is strength. Allowing is strength. Authority without compassion is just control. You must love and have compassion for your parts. You must have compassion for that ego. But listening without structure becomes chaos. And healing requires structure. And like I said, a true leader listens. It's listening, allowing, and guiding. You don't silence the parts of yourself. You hear them. It's not forcing them to speak. It's allowing them to speak. You don't boss your ego around. I did that. I still catch myself doing it, like, oh, be quiet. Oh, why would you say something like that? And it's like, wait a second. Nope. There's a reason. So take a breath in it. But you create a space where every part feels safe to speak. I can't say that enough. They will come speak to you when they feel safe and trusted, when they can trust that they're not going to be pushed aside or shamed or ignored. They want to heal. Every part of you, every version of you that you've developed over your whole life wants to heal. So I'm not trying to get rid of them. I'm here for them. That's the message that we're trying to get through to them. But it's not agenda driven. It's not fixing them. It's not bypassing spirituality. It's creating internal safety. And it's power. It's power through listening. It's not a mood. Healing is not a mood. You don't get in the mood to heal, right? It's a method. There is a process to it. The laugh method is the process that I use. Listen, allow, follow. That structure teaches safety. That safety builds and teaches trust, and trust reduces fear. Think of any environment you're out in life. When you trust and you feel safe in that environment, you don't have fear. You walk into it willing to share, willing to be open. But when you walk into a place and you don't feel trust and you don't feel safe, you're going to be withdrawn. Same with your ego. Same with the parts inside of you. And then they're going to lash out. And that's what comes out. Fear is what drives ego overreach. When a part of you is scared or fearful of anything, feels pain, suffering, has a trigger, it's going to overreach. It's going to push and push and push to make you walk away from whatever that situation is. And that situation could be good for you. That situation would be your true calling. But all your ego knows is pain and suffering. All your ego knows is trying new things is hurtful. You must build your internal system. You must build it all together. There's an ecosystem living in each one of us, and you have to build it. And it's a method, and it's a process, and it's daily work. So it's how you listen. It's how you allow, and it's how you respond. That's a big one for me. That's the follow process. How am I responding to it? Am I fighting? Am I arguing? Am I shaming? Am I attacking? Am I ignoring? Or am I having a conversation? Am I trying to understand and do things that will help it feel safer, make it feel a little bit less vulnerable, make the ego understand that we're in this together? Because without structure, you react, you spiral, and those cycles of life just keep churning. They may go away for a year, 5 years, 10 years. They will return if you don't heal those parts within you. If you don't heal your ego, if you don't allow it to understand that we're in this life forever, you push it away, you smother it, you kill it. I'm using air quotes for those listening because there is no killing it. It will return. A life event will return. And when it comes back, it's going to come back with full vengeance. But with structure, you lead, you pivot, you grow. But leadership isn't just individual. It's a collective. It's not random. It's just not. Healing has a method. The laugh method is a process. And healing without structure turns into motivation. Motivation and inspiration are great. I listen to some every single day of my life, but I also understand I know what it's there for. It's there just to keep me driven. It's helped to push me through some things that maybe I don't want to do. Maybe that day I don't want to go to the gym. Maybe that day I don't want to write. Maybe that day I don't want to go to work. Whatever it is, motivation, inspiration are a great tool, but they don't heal. They just push you through it and leave something behind you unhealed. And the more you do that, the deeper that wound goes. So you need a system. Listen, allow, follow. If you don't build a structure, the ego will build one for you. And I think we all recognize at different parts of our life when we were very ego driven, if we sit down and start doing the work and start doing the studying and listening to ourselves and reflecting on times of our life, we can witness when the ego was the primary leader of the structure of our life. It's very easy to see. Stagnation feeds that ego noise. When you are stagnant, when you aren't moving forward, when you aren't growing, when you aren't progressing, when you aren't reaching, when you aren't trying your very best every day, and your best may be 10% that day. But if that's the best you have that day, give that 10%. I'm not the 110% guy. There's no such thing. I'm a black and white numbers kind of a guy. 100% is the best you can give. And if 10 on that day is the best, 40 on that day is the best, whatever it is, but you got to make sure that you're doing all that you can do. All that you can do is enough, but you've got to make sure that you're doing all that you can do. Healing is not a feeling. It's a discipline. There is a discipline to healing. There is a process. It's an internal order. And laugh helps create that internal order for me. Listening without following creates a gap. As I built this process and as I built this method, at first it was listen and follow, right? I actually have a podcast earlier in season 1 that was called Listen and Follow. And it was good, but there was something missing. That allow, and we're going to go through a lot more of this over time, but it could be, honestly, laugh could be laugh Alf, because in order to listen, you have to allow yourself to create a space of love. You have to allow the others to come in. You have to allow to listen, but you first have to listen to them. You first have to hear, okay, who's talking? What's going on? Ooh, why do I feel this? Listen to your body. Listen to your mind. It all goes together. But you have to listen because it creates a gap if you don't follow what you're listening to. And that follow through, it will build trust. And your internal system needs that trust. It craves to have trust. Because when one part of you hurts, they all feel it. Healing one part heals the whole. But it also works in reverse. When Strength spreads, safety spreads, love spreads. Every version of you still exists. They all have built protectors, and they all learned roles. Every single part of you, every version of you throughout your life, once you start finding them, you will find that they also have a protector. And you will start being able to listen and find those triggers. I'm going to give you an example. So every morning that I sit down and I do my morning meditation, I have a very rigid process that I follow as far as what I do, when I do it, how I do it, right? But once I get in there, like I said, I surrender. God, Mother Earth, my highest self. Here's my life. I will follow you wherever you lead me. Take me. I'm a vessel every single morning. And then I sit there and as my meditation goes, I listen to my breath, I listen to my heart, and I open it up and I open a space for all those parts to come with me. And over the time, I've got to know them so well that I know when they start coming in by the ego noise that's going on, I know which one it is. Let them have their peace. Hey, we're here, man. Take a breath, blow it out, relax, and bring them all in together. That's where the collective comes in. Allowing them to learn that they also have each other, that all the versions of us make us whole. And if one is not healed, then we're all not healed. We all are here together. We all have roles. Some versions of us, and you can think of this, just look back in your life. You don't have to go into the parts of you and the ego of you. Just think back in your life. At 20 years old, there was something you were better than you were when you were 15. And there's something, I don't know how old you are, but just go back in increments. If you're 30, look back at 25 and 20. There's something now that you're better at than them. There's a version of you inside of you for all those different times. So the collective understanding and healing is very important to all this. You can't just heal one part of you. You've got to go to the deepest parts. You got to go to the shallowest parts, the ones that are just little easy to deal with, right? Maybe you don't have as much pain and suffering through that period of your life until that one shows up that is that deep one. And he's ready to talk. He's ready to come out because now he sees everyone else healing. And also the other parts know, hey, come with us, man. Grow. And leadership teaches them how to work together, how to support each other, how to stand in love instead of defense. If one is afraid, another can hold it. Again, there's parts of you that are stronger than others in certain things. There's parts and versions of me from the past that can handle ridicule from words or people, saying nasty, negative things, that can shrug that off. There's parts of me that cannot. So they have to learn how to stand up for each other. They're a unit. They're an ecosystem. If one feels strong, they all benefit. And this is the internal leadership. Not suppression, not killing, pure integration, bringing them all together. And when you lead this way, I'm telling you, something changes. When every part of you knows, hey, we're in this together and he's got our back or she's got our back or they've got our back, something changes. And think of the best office meeting or meeting in school or work project or school project you've ever been a part of, a group, sports team, whatever. When everybody's on the same page, when everybody's pointing to the same goal, it's magical. And that's what you're doing inside with all the parts of you. Individual healing creates collective internal strength. What I mean by that, if one part feels, we all feel. When one hurts, we all hurt. When one is strong, we all rise. There's a part that can handle what another can't, right? We just talked about that. And that's important to understand. It's not weakness. We're all different, right? Some people can handle certain things better than others. Same thing internally. There's different times of your life where you could handle different things differently. So you have to rely on those parts to stand up for the ones who can't. But they're learn to support each other. You are an ecosystem, and you are the leader of this ecosystem. Ego parts aren't enemies. They are roles. They are roles within you to create and help you become your best self. And you have to heal them individually because it teaches them to work together. When you heal individually, each little part gets a little stronger and sees the part next to them, just like friendship, right? Just like loving your neighbor. When you start to feel better, you can give. When you feel love in your heart, you give more love. When you feel happiness, you give more happiness. And that's what you're creating within your ego. That's what you're creating within all the parts of yourself. Internal support replaces internal sabotage. Because if you allow them to be compartmentalized, if you allow them to fight against each other, like, I need love more than you, I need to be heard more than you, I'm hurt more than you, that is complete sabotage. They have to learn to support each other, and teaching them that, teaching yourself how to support yourself. Because again, remember, all this comes down to loving yourself, self-worth, self-determination, self-understanding, self-love. It's all for yourself. It's all giving this to yourself. It's raising yourself. It's looking at that inner child. It's looking at that teenager in you. It's looking at that younger adult in you. It's looking at whatever your age is, right? Wherever you are in the stages of life. It's looking at those past parts and saying, okay, I remember that struggle. I understand why you're this way. It's okay. Let's talk about it. Because we understand a lot more in life now than we did then. This is unity. It's not suppression. So what happens when you lead? Your ego doesn't disappear. It breathes. The ego stops fighting. Protection softens. Fear becomes information instead of authority. And that is a massive one. They're all big, but that's a massive one. Listen to your fear, because if you can listen to it, you can understand it. If you have that open heart and that willingness to listen and understand where the fear and the pain and the suffering come from, you will understand it and you will be able to lead it and help it heal. No judgment, no shame. You stop sabotaging yourself. You stop repeating cycles. And you stop reacting. Because when you lead, you are expressing love, a presence, structure, accountability. Leadership is not about power. It's not. It's about responsibility. Your ego has been waiting for you to step up. It doesn't want you to control it. It wants you to guide it. You lead through compassion, not dominance. You don't kill protection. You retrain that protection. You teach that protection how to work with you, how to become one with you. It's not evil. It's just simply scared. Your ego is just scared out of its mind for life. So give love to fear. Embrace that fear. Give understanding to pain. Give grace to the resistance. Leadership is about building trust. Fear-based authority creates rebellion. Love-based authority creates alignment. Internal trust builds external stability, and healing requires consistency. So here's what I want you to sit with. Where in your life are you reacting instead of leading? Where is a part of you loud and you are either fighting or ignoring it? And what would change if you led that part with love and instead of fear? Sit with those. Reflect on it. I'm sure feelings will come up. And when they do, go into the conversation and sit and talk with it. Have a conversation like you're sitting in front of that 7-year-old you, that 10-year-old you, that 3-year, whatever it is, 20-year-old, 40-year-old. Sit with them. Have that conversation. Because once you start reflecting with these questions, once you start asking yourself these internal questions, the answers will start coming, but you have to be willing to love that pain, that fear, that suffering, that anxiety. You have to be willing to show it love, grace, and compassion. No shame, no judgment, no pushing it aside, and definitely no killing it. If you kill a part of your ego, if that's what your goal is, then you're killing a part of yourself. And nobody would want that. It's not healthy. It's not fundamentally sound to you becoming the best whole you can be. You can't become whole without all of you. And I understand that there's things that happen in life. I promise you I understand that are just painful. But you can heal them and you can move on. I promise you can. And you have a strength within you that you don't know you had. But once you start doing this work, once you start listening to your ego, once you start listening to your parts, you will find that ability and it will grow. And they will start thriving through it, and they'll want more and more and more. And they'll want to see the light. And then you'll feel it coming from within inside you. And when you step into that authority, real authority, your ego doesn't disappear. It just doesn't. It breathes. It takes a breath. It relaxes. It learns it no longer has to protect you through fear. That there's other ways to protect you. That there's other ways that it can grow with you. It takes a breath. And it calms down. And it finds out, hey, this isn't so bad. But that's the work. If this spoke to you, share it. Subscribe so we can keep building this together. This is This Tree and Me. Today's episode, be the leader your ego is waiting for. I am Corey J. Riggs. I love you all. Be blessed.